All right, I think we can get started. It is 10 o'clock here in Perth, but I realise that many of you have sort of listening in from over in maybe Sydney, Melbourne, Queensland, Adelaide, Northern Territory, so welcome everybody. Before I begin our presentation today, we would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land that we are on, the Whadjuk Noongar people, and pay our respects to elders past and present. My name is Avina Trzynski. I'm a Senior Research Officer here at the HealthInfoNet and work full-time on the Alcohol and Other Drugs Knowledge Centre project. And with me today is Millie Harford-Mills, and she's also a Senior Research Officer here at the HealthInfoNet. So thank you very much for joining today's webinar. So for today, we're going to go and show you how to find our latest resources. And this is, I guess, to help you, in your work, and also show you what we've been producing over the last 18 months or so. This includes our eBooks, Infographics, HealthInfoBytes, our AODconnect app, and our Alcohol and Other Drugs policy timeline, as well as where you can find our webinars. So if you happen to miss any of these webinars that we produce, we record them and we put them up on the website for you to access at any time later. We'll have about 10 or 15 minutes at the end if you would like to ask any questions or if there's anything else we can show you on the website. So we're going to switch off the webcam now so that we can go live to the website. And if you have another computer screen, a second one, and you want to follow along, you can do that. So our URL is www.aodknowledgecentre.net.au. For those familiar with the HealthInfoNet, it can also be found on the HealthInfoNet homepage via the Alcohol and Drugs button on the homepage. Millie's just showing it there for you now. So we're going to firstly look at the homepage of the Knowledge Centre. For those of you who are familiar with the Knowledge Centre, you will know that everything can be found from the homepage, like our main topics. That's across the black tabs along the top. And then you can also find all our database lists. They're in the middle of the page. And we have a selection of portals, including the Tackling Indigenous Smoking portal, our Alcohol and Drugs Workers portal, Community portal, and FASD portal. We also have all of our social media listed on the right-hand side of the page. More recently, we've added links to our eBooks, which are down the bottom of the page, webinars, and HealthInfoBytes. So today we're going to start by showing you where our reviews are. So we write narrative synthesis reviews on all the different topics. The first product we'd like to introduce to you with the reviews is how to navigate to them. Because we've made ebooks from them, but you might like to have a look at the PDF versions or read them online. So we currently offer the reviews on alcohol use, illicit drug use, kava, and volatile substance use. The illicit drug use and volatile substance use reviews are our most recent publications, and they were both published in 2016. So we're going to click on the review here to show you what it looks like online. So as I mentioned, a review is a collection of information in a topic area, and it brings together current evidence and information in a comprehensive document. We also provide plain language versions of both the illicit and volatile substance use reviews, so that the information is accessible to a wide audience. And you can access these at the HTML page or in PDF. So if you click up the top right, you'll see a download button, and that's what it looks like. And you can download that to your computer or print off if you need a hard copy. So the next thing we're going to show you is our illicit drug use ebook, which we produced from the original review. If you go to the home page and scroll down a little, you can see the button for the illicit drug use ebook. If you click on that, you'll find it, and it provides the links to downloading it to your iPad or Apple product. So the ebooks provide a more interactive way of reading and engaging with the content. They contain various media such as videos, infographics, and links to other relevant resources. It's available to download through iBooks on a Mac or iOS device through iTunes. There's also an animated infographic video which we created along with emergent form media. You can access the video by clicking on the hyperlink on this page. We won't play the video just now as I don't tend to display well during the webinars, but we'd encourage you to access it later and have a look. They go for a few minutes. There's additionally an A4 infographic related to the review and has up-to-date information on illicit drugs. You can find the infographic on the same page. So we obviously can't cover all the information in the review on one infographic, but we've pulled out some key information for people to look at. Next, we'd like to show you the volatile substance use ebook. As you can see, it's on the home page down the bottom in its own little box. So if you click on the home page and on that box, you'll access it. So similar to the illicit drug use ebook, the VSU ebook is available to download on your iBooks, Mac or iOS device through iTunes. And like the illicit drug ebook, there's also a related animated infographic produced by Emergent Form and a static infographic, the A4. So that's the eBooks. Next, we'd like to show you our HealthInfoBytes. HealthInfoBytes are short two-minute films on a particular topic, and you can access these also from the home page. As you can see, Millie is showing on the black banner on the left side where to access the HealthInfoBytes. They provide bite-sized information about specific health topics, helping you to learn something new in just a few minutes. This year, we've produced InfoBytes on the review of volatile substance use and one on our tobacco web resource. And there's also one around preventing Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander maternal smoking. Again, we can't play these videos during the webinar today, but we'd encourage you to have a look at these yourself if you're interested. So now I'm going to hand over to Millie and she's going to talk about some of our other products.
Hi everyone, so I'd just like to show you another one of our products, which is the phone app AODconnect. You can find information about the app and how to download it on the home page of the Knowledge Centre. So we just click down the bottom here on this button. AODconnect is a national directory of treatment services for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. It has been designed for health professionals in the AOD sector to be a portable means of locating a treatment service. You can access the app even when you have no internet connection, and it will make any updates that we've added when your phone is reconnected to a network. The app allows you to find a service by region or state through an interactive map or alphabetical listing of services, which you can get a bit of an idea of in the photos down the bottom here. And you can also find a specific type of treatment by choosing different categories, such as withdrawal management, residential rehab, or services for young people. And this phone app, you can download it on both the Apple Store and Google Play by clicking on these links here. So now I'd like to show you another of our new products, which is the AOD Policy Timeline. And you can access this in the tab on the banner up the top here and just click on AOD Policy Timeline. So this policy timeline is designed to inform and educate the sector, and it provides an interactive way to learn about the history of AOD policies in Australia. The policy timeline provides a snapshot of policy in the sector and then allows for more detailed information for each listing and access to the report from the Knowledge Centre bibliography. So for example, Avina's just clicked on the National Campaign Against Drug Abuse, and so you can see that we've now been taken to that entry in the Knowledge Centre web resource. So we've got information in the policy timeline up until 1985 when the National Campaign Against Drug Abuse was launched, and we'll update this policy timeline each year so it's reflective of anything new that's coming out. Okay, so now if we go back to the home page, for those of you who are joining us for your first ever Knowledge Centre webinar, you might be interested to know that we have recorded our previous webinars. So you can access these again on the home page by just scrolling down the bottom here and clicking on the button that says Knowledge Centre Webinars. You can access our previous webinars on harnessing good intentions, addressing harmful AOD use among Aboriginal Australians, what workers and organisations can do to support clients and communities in relation to crystal methamphetamine, a practical guide to community-based approaches for reducing alcohol harm, and another general webinar on the AOD Knowledge Centre. So if we just go back to the home page, so that's kind of it for the products that we've produced this year. But we'd just like to ask you now if there's anything that you would like to show us on the Knowledge Centre. So maybe you might be new to this web resource and you might like to know a bit more information about what we cover in alcohol, or you'd like to look at some of our other things. So if you do have anything that you'd like us to look at, then just let us know. You can just type in the chat box down the bottom.
We have Rosalie asking a question and Catherine, so just waiting for those to pop up. Can we explain the yarning places? Yes, we can.
Sure. So the yarning places are basically kind of online networks that we've created. So we create a yarning place for a whole bunch of different topics. So we do have one specifically on alcohol and other drugs. And these kind of encourage networking among different people who might be working in this sector. So to access the yarning places, we just click login. And as you can see here, this is the home page of the yarning place. If you're not signed up already, you can just click on the join button in the left hand side, and you just have to fill in a few details and then join. That's pretty simple. And then if we go back and click on Alcohol and Other Drugs Knowledge Centre, once you're a member, you'll have to just sign up to this yarning place, and then you'll have access to all of the things on here, and you'll be able to post, say, so for example, if you had a question that you'd like to ask some other people in this sector, you can do that on the yarning board as well.
And this particular yarning place has over 700 members at the moment, so it's a great opportunity to ask those questions about resources and programs, or share your information with those people.
Yep. And you can also share your events as well in there, which is good.
And you can also join other yarning places. So if you have an interest in tackling smoking or diabetes, CQI, you can certainly have a look at those as well. Anyone have anything else that they'd like us to show them or have a look at, or any other questions?
Yes, so we do have resources to support people in contact with the justice system. So if you go to the community portal, so if we scroll down and go to the community portal section and click on that, just click show images, you can see here there's a section on help for offenders. So if we click on that, there's a bit of information on this page about things like court diversion programs, entering prison, and then there's also a tab up the top here that says help for offenders programs. So if we click on that, you can scroll down and there's a listing of programs that aim to help people that might be in contact with the criminal justice system. And there's actually also a section on the HealthInfoNet website too, in population groups, on offender health. So if we just click that there. So this is that section as well, so I'd encourage you to have a look at that one too.
Thank you, Penny, for that question.
Yeah. Anyone else like to see anything else that we can show you? How frequently are our reviews updated?
Yeah, we aim to update our reviews usually within 3 to 5 years, sometimes a bit sooner. The illicit drug use review was updated last year, and the volatile substance use last year. The alcohol review is currently in production and will be launched in the next couple of months. That's being updated right now. And our next year we're updating our Carver review as well. Thank you, Rosalie, for that question.
So we've got another question from Jasmine, and she's asking, where can I find information and resources for youth, alcohol and other drug use? So that's a great question. Again, we do have a section on the community portal for working with young people. So if we just go back to the community portal and click on help for young people, it's laid out in a similar way to that section I just showed you before. And it's got information about looking after young people, information on specific drug types such as alcohol, prevention and things like that. And then also within each drug type too, so if we click on alcohol and we go to programs, there's also a filter at the top here for young people, so then you can filter specifically to find information about alcohol programs for young people too.
So we're just waiting we can see someone typing.
So
Yep.
I'll just answer the other part of Jasmine's question. So when you use the filter, can you filter down to state? When you use the filters in the program list, so the one I was showing you before, we'll just go back to it. At the moment in this list, there's currently no way to filter by state, but you can change this toggle thing at the top here, so you can search it by alphabetical list. However, we do have some good news about the filtering list, which we'll tell you in just a minute before we wrap up the webinar.
We've got a question from Kathy, how often we'll be running webinars? Our next webinar will be coming up late November, and we'll be running at least maybe one every 2 months over the coming couple of years. We'll run some, and we also have webinars with lots of guest speakers from around the country talking about all topics around different parts of alcohol and drugs and the workforce.
So another question from Ferdy's Haven, do you have to pay for any of the resources? No, you absolutely do not have to pay at all. All of the resources that we produce and that we host on there are free. I think in the cases of things like publications and access to journal articles, we don't control what you do and don't have access to in terms of journals, but otherwise everything on there is totally free.
And I'd like to say that if you come across a great resource, maybe a larger resource package or flip chart or something, each resource entry has the contact details, and you may like to contact the organisation and whether they can send you those resources or brochures or anything that might be of interest. They might be able to do that for you.
So we have another question from Bonnie. Are there any printable posters that we can access? So just following on from what Avina just said, because all of the resources we have on there are mostly produced by other people, it's very hard for us to know at any current time if they're producing printouts of those. So if there's anything that you particularly like, say for example, if we wanted to click on one of these resources, audiovisual,
the posters?
Yeah, so one of the posters. The best way to check if you can have a printable copy is just by sending an email or getting in touch with the organisation. So in this case, you'd get in touch with the Aboriginal Drug and Alcohol Council of South Australia and just see if they have any posters that they can send to you.
Okay, Paul asks, does AODconnect doesn't come up when you search on an Android phone, but it comes up from a PC search? Maybe a glitch. Paul, it might be sometimes the actual word AODconnect, make sure it's all one word, or maybe on your phone, go to our home page on your phone and scroll down to AODconnect and click on the Google Play link from there, and that might take you directly to it. Hopefully that might help. If not, Paul, at the end, take down our email details and we can keep in contact with you and make sure we can get that working for you if there's any other issues. Great, thanks Paul.
Okay, so before we wrap up, we might just quickly tell you what our plans are for 2018, just because we have a few exciting things in the work. So behind the scenes, we're actually working on a new responsive design for the website, which means that you'll be able to access it on your phone and tablet, and that what will happen is when you access the website on your phone, the screen will adjust better for you so you can look at the information that we have on there much more easily. And we're hoping to have this launched early next year. So there'll be quite a few changes happening as part of this responsive design, but we'll be on hand to assist with any questions that you might have. And earlier there was that question about filtering, and on the new website, for every resource section that you have, you will be able to filter as part of this new website, so that's quite exciting. We'll also be running a series of webinars about the new website, so you can just see we've just turned our camera back on, so you can familiarise yourself with how to use it. As Ravina mentioned before, our new alcohol review is due to be launched in the next couple of months, so keep an eye on your social media networks. This will also be available in PDF, plain language and online versions. If you're wanting to keep in touch with us and find out about the latest information coming out from the Knowledge Centre or about our new webinars, we would encourage you to sign up to our newsletter. So we send out an AOD newsletter every month or so, and you can just access this by clicking on the newsletters tab on the home page, and then you can fill in your details, and then if you just click on Alcohol and Other Drugs Knowledge Centre, then you'll be receiving our newsletter. Early next year we will also be releasing some new community portal fact sheets, so we'll be releasing fact sheets on opioids, ecstasy and NSPs, and we will also be working on some new HealthInfoBytes.
Okay, so that's it for the presentation part of the webinar today. We would like to just give you one final chance if there's any other questions about the Knowledge Centre at this point. If not, no one else has anything to, we'll just wrap up here. So before we go, is it actually showing? Yeah, cool. We'd like to let you know that the next upcoming webinar is on the 29th of November, and this one will be the topic of FASD, or Fetal Alcohol Spectrum Disorders, and that's with Dr. Raywin Much. She's from Princess Margaret Hospital, but also works at UWA, that's the University of Western Australia, and Telethon Kids Institute. So we're really looking forward to that. And I think that's about it. So if anyone has any last questions, we'll put up our contact details in case anyone has any questions later. And just to remind you that we are recording this webinar, so if you ever want to go back and have a look at these resources and know how to access them, or want to share that with your staff, then they can also watch this at some time over the next couple of weeks. I've got a question from Catherine. The FASD webinar, will it be the same time? Yes, we do all of our webinars at 10 AM Western Standard Time, which means we'll always put the other times on our newsletters or our news items for all the different states and territories. Thank you. So I think, should we put up the contact details?
Yeah, so we'll stop sharing the website now. We'll just put up our contact details. So there's a Vinner's email there and my email there, and there's also the general AOD Knowledge Centre email as well. So if you have any queries at all, just get in touch with one of us and we'll be happy to help. Yeah, so we hope you got some good information from today's webinar and that you'll continue to use it and find out more about it. It's all free and accessible anytime for you. And if you have anything to share, that sort of programs or resources that you're working on, we'd also like to hear about that as well. Yeah. So I think that'll be it for today. So thank you for joining us, and we'll see you maybe in about 4 weeks' time for the next one. Thanks everyone. Bye.